Then you gonna get ready to get real for what this man have done to us, man. You can't see what happened to you in Detroit. You can't see you've been bombed in Detroit. You've been shot down in Detroit. You've been destroyed in this city. Your eyes ain't open enough to see that. When you walk out the street and see your brothers in the gutter, are you mad? Cap LeBron is mad, man. I ain't seen this nigga smile since the day I met him, man. He's angry all the goddamn time, and now I understand why. You want to hear somebody tell you a goddamn lie? Take your silly ass to church. But if you want to hear the straight up goddamn truth about what has happened to black people in the city of Detroit, will you stand here with me for a little while? Jesus was a black man like you and me. Jesus grew up in the ghettos of Nazareth, which was a ghetto just like Detroit. Jesus suffered with the poor in the hood just like you suffered, man. You need niggas like Captain LeBron. You need real niggas to come together in this city to bring brothers and sisters back together. Motown is famous to us. That music they made up there in Motown was the most amazing music in the world to us. And now where's the money from all them records? Where's the wealth? Where's the babies from all them great musicians? Where's their money at? Where's their real estate at? Where their businesses at? Where the children of the Temptations at? Can I see their mansions? Can I see their Cadillacs? Hell no, I can't see it in Detroit. You know why? Because it don't exist no goddamn more. Do you know why? Because when you join your business onto the white man steals every goddamn thing. You better find out about my boy right here, Captain LeBron, and you better join that black man.
The 12 Tribes Lecture by Captain Katazai from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. Kicking off the Midwest Fire Weekend. For more information, contact 312-547-1991. Again, that's 312-547-1991. On July 25th, we're going to be on 938 East 79th Street, Chicago, Illinois. Don't miss out on this great lecture, man. This is going to be fire.
Captain Katazai, the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge under Commander General Yohanan.
Why is having a lecture like this so important?
And one thing that we're missing out here is we're missing an identity, man. Every other race and nation of people knows who they are.
We're going to be bringing out all the archaeology as far as, you understand, proving who these tribes are.
If you look at this book right here, this is everything leaving our temple when they ransacked us. Rome minted this coin called the Judea capture, meaning Jerusalem captured.
And so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians, you understand, and then the adjoining name as to who we are today and the various tribes that we're from.
Every Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, you were born a Jew. You were born an Israelite.
Our oppressors' culture, their religion, their God, was all forced upon us, and as a result, we lost the sense of who we are.
How did we get over here in America? Why were we in Africa? What were the Puerto Ricans and the Taino Indians and the Arawak Indians and the Incas and the Mayans? What were they doing over here?
This is a pushback and another step closer to us regaining our culture, getting back closer with the Most High, so that this way He can restore our nation and our people.
Why is it Latinos and blacks have not yet seen the similarities in their plights here in America?
We separate because we're in different religions. We separate because we identify differently. We separate because a brother wears a different goddamn color than you.
Black and Hispanics of Negro or Indian descent on their father's side, we are conquered.
We're on the bottom of every single social and economic system. We fill the prison systems. You understand that? We're number one in every single disease.
And upon being divided and conquered, they labeled us different races. They labeled us, you understand, under different categories. Black and Hispanics run together. We do recognize that we are the same people and have the same flavor. We got to get back to that and realize that we have a common enemy and a common identity. This is what gets someone off of drugs. This is what heals your soul and cleans you up. What made me join the ISUPK is I was searching for a very long time. I started with different, I guess, so-called religions or spiritual systems. And the reason as to why I'm here is because the truth is here.
Now, where should every Black, Hispanic, or Native American be on July 25th, 2019?
Man, every single Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian should be making a damn pilgrimage to the Midwest. You understand? With the heavy hitters, Captain Mawaquad, Captain Devar, Officer Ra'im, you understand? Officer Lamakia Allah, all them heavy hitting brothers, Salakia, if I missed y'all, Captain Kapash, you know what I'm saying? All these different brothers out in the Midwest that's raising up Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians. We should all be at that lecture at the Chicago school, you understand? I'd like to thank Captain Mawaquad for extending an invitation for me to come out there and be able to break down this information for our people, because it's so imperative that we wake up now more than ever.
Definition of a soldier. Hey man,
What's happening, man?
y'all know what time it is, man.
What's happening, man? Captain Kapaz, what's
Spirit of
happening?
Phineas on this
Captain
motherfucker.
Devar, what's happening, man?
Definition of a soldier, militant minded, violent, silent, sleeping giant, iron, titan, soaring, flying.
Yeah, Israel. We back in the building. It's another Midwest Fire Weekend. ISUPK presents the 3rd annual Midwest Barbecue, man. And guess what? It's all gonna be hosted by Big Priest, Captain Mauquai.
Real. All blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians, ISUPK, keeping the movement going. We got a banging weekend coming. Fire weekend coming, July 25th to the 28th.
Street niggas to reach niggas from street corners. We see
To kick off that fire weekend, we got the official 12 Tribe breakdown lecture hosted, you understand, and ran by my man himself, Captain Katazai of New York, world famous, cross the line, everybody knows.
Let me tell you something. The only real Jews on the planet are the black, Hispanic, and Native Indians.
here. Shit, you ain't nowhere, man. Y'all know what time it is. 125th Ward West, Harlem, since 1969.
Chicago's fire weekend, man. July 25th through 28th. They're going to have a hell of a weekend. Jam-packed. Amazing events. First, you got Captain Katazai's lecture. You're going to have camp. You got the barbecue, the Bantu Festival. Man, it's going to be a hell of a time, man. The General's going to be in town. Captain's going to be in town. And it's in Chicago, man. Listen, come out, have a good time with us. We're going to do it big, man. Shalom. It's going to be camp. We're going to have a fire camp. Manny, Jimmy, Yohana, all the Midwest heavy hitters.
On July the 25th, Captain Katazai gonna be performing the 12 Tribes lecture on 938 East 79th Street. Then, camp is gonna be held at downtown Chicago on July the 26th on 108 North State Street. Then also, we got the Bantu Festival on July 27th, 1501 West Rudolph Street. Last but not least, we got the cookout on July the 28th, the Midwest Cookout, man. We're going to be at Rainbow Beach Park, 3111 East 77th Street, Chicago, Illinois.
Hey, man. Phineas, nigga. Y'all know what time it is, man. Spirit of Phineas on this motherfucker. What's happening, man? Definition of a soldier. Fuck 'em, focus, choke 'em, smoke 'em.
Come out July 25th through the 28th to the Midwest Fire Weekend, man. We're going to have brotherhood, sisterhood, barbecue, everything you can think of. It's going to be a family event.
Angel of war coming, the archangel, the Lord coming for shortcomings. Street niggas.
Swat 5,000. You already know what time it is. Fire Weekend, Chicago, July 25th through 28th, man. Get down there. The manager and Hunter gonna be in the building. We got the barbecue, the Bantu Festival.
Chicago, Chi-Town gonna be there. New York gonna be in the building. You know what I mean? Indianapolis gonna be in the building. You know what I mean? All the Midwest is gonna be in the building. Okay, we gonna take this joint up, man. Bantu Festival, we gonna mob in that joint. Alright? Most of Christ, y'all. Shalom.
Gotta be here. If you ain't here, shit. You
Man, Chief Sock, Jenny, Angry Black Man, we here in New York right now. I want to tell y'all about the event we got coming up this summer. July 25th to the 29th, we're going to be in the city of Chicago for the Bantu Festival. Y'all know nobody represent like the Israelite School, the UPK.
The angel of war coming, the archangel, the Lord coming for shortcomings. Street niggas to reach niggas from street corners. We see niggas and teach niggas.
Shalom, come to the Midwest Barbecue, July 25th to July 28th. Number 2 champions gonna be good. You understand what I'm saying? No, Bantu Festival, Fire Weekend is another one that's going down. The Warlords will be in the building. Shalom.
Street niggas to reach niggas from street corners. We see niggas and teach.
The white man ain't nothing but the devil the Bible speaks of.
Guess what? We also got the grill coming live from Chicago by Commanding General Yohana on 938 East 79th Street, Chicago, Illinois. For more contact information, dial 312-547-1991. Again, for more contact information, dial 312-547-1991. Don't miss out on it. ISUPK, no cowards, no excuses.
Shit is going down. All 12 tribes are to come together under Command General Yohana. Kwam Yashala! Kwam Yashala! Kwam Yashala! Kwam Yashala! Kwam Yashala! Kwam Yashala!
Power shalom.
Yeah,
Shalom, Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shah, Barakatham to my brothers, and Shalom, Yahweh Shema, Alatha, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah to my sisters. We are the ISUPK, and we've been coming to you since 1969 out of 1 West 125th Street, bringing forth the truth in the Bible under Commandant General Yohanan. And that truth that we've been bringing to you is that blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are what? The lost tribe of Israel. The lost house, the lost sheep of Israel. And this Wednesday night, so you know what that means, right? This is the law class. This is the law class. And what we do in this class is we get to understand the law. We get to understand not only the law, but we get to understand our relationship to the law as well. We get to understand our relationship to the law. Let me tell you a secret, and I know some people may not believe this, but everything you go through in your life that's hell, and we know what hell is, right? That just piss you off, that seem like it's stepping on your neck. Everything you go through is because of disobedience to the law. Now we're going to get right into the class, since this is a law class. First of all, we know that the Christian church teach folk that God loves everybody and everybody's going to be able to come to the Most High and get forgiven and all that. That's a lie. That's a doggone lie. Here's the deal. Let's look at a scripture so we can understand who the law applies to. We want to really find out who is responsible to the Most High for keeping this law. That's what we want to know. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to Psalms. That's what we're going to do. We're going to go to Psalms, and we're going to go to 147. Because it's super important when we're looking at the law that we understand who the law is intended for and who it wasn't for. Psalms 147, we're going to start at verse 19. That's Psalms 147, verse 19. This is the law class. The law is part of our covenant. You know that. We learned way back in the Old Testament that the Most High gave us a bunch of laws. Not a whole lot. They're not grievous, but he gave us laws to live by, how to treat one another. And he didn't give them to anybody else. He requires us to keep these laws. This part of the covenant. This is the covenant. Our part of the covenant is to keep the law. That's our part. Israel's part of the covenant is to keep the law and to live for the Most High. So we're going to Psalms 147, and we're going to start reading at verse 19. He showeth his word unto Jacob. Now, we do know who Jacob is, right? Student, what's another name for Jacob? Give me another name for Jacob. You don't know. Then we need to put the phone down, sister. Jacob is Israel. That's right. Jacob is Israel. So he showeth his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. Remember in the ISUPK, when we teach and we speak as the what? The oracles of God. The oracles of the Most High. What we say is what the Most High said in his word. So we will only teach what's in the Bible. According to Psalms 19, he showeth his word unto Jacob his statutes. What is a statute, student? A statute is a what? A statute. S-T-A-T-U-T-E. What is that? No, that's a statue. That's a statue. That's different. A statute. A statute. Let me ask you this: Have you ever had to deal with MDOC or not Cook County? That's Chicago, ain't it? Or Dickerson? Is that it? Dickerson. You've dealt with that, and when you went in front of the judge, what did they read that you violated? The statute. So a statute is a what? The law. The law. Sometimes you work with it to help brothers bring it out. They know, but being in America, we've been crushed so bad, right, that we sometimes don't want to say it because we don't want to be bad. But yeah, a statute is the law. His statutes is his law. And he showeth, verse 19, he showeth his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. The sister was absolutely correct. That Jacob, another name for Jacob is Israel. We know that Jacob's name was changed to Israel. And we are called Israelites. And at one point we was called Jacobites. They're the same people. Same people. If his statutes are his laws, then what are his judgments? What do you think his judgments are? Go ahead, sister. That's pretty close. Bring me on home with it, though. That's it. It's the sentence for whatever your crime was, or what? The consequences for breaking the law. The consequences for breaking the law. And guess what, Israel? We still have to suffer the consequences today for when our fathers broke the law thousands of years ago. And guess why we have to suffer the consequences? Because we are complicit in breaking the law. That means we break the law too. Every day we break the law. There's a law that teaches us to obey those who have rule over you. And guess what we do? We challenge, and I'm talking about in Israel. I thank the Most High for these officers over me, because I remember when I used to do this, I used to have a rebuttal for everything that was said to me. If I didn't feel that's the way it should be, I had something to say. But the Most High didn't say argue with the men over you. He didn't say rebuttal the men that's over you. He didn't say none of that. What did he say? He said obey those who have rule over you. And so we have to be real careful, because if we don't keep his statutes, if we don't keep the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High, then we too must suffer. Must suffer. Anybody in here, a mother or a father, got children? All right? And would you say you love your children? Would you say you love your children? If you got children? All right. So, as a loving father, as a loving mother, and you catch your child with a bobby pin playing around the light socket in the wall, look like he's getting ready or she getting ready to put it in there, what you gonna do? After you told them not to do that, you're gonna do what? What about if you catch your 4-year-old in the kitchen turning that stove on under that pan of grease? What you gonna do? You're gonna tear his young behind up. Why? That's the question. Why would you do that? Okay. That's in detail. I need a 3-word answer, though. It's something. Get straight to the point. What you got, brother? Why would you? Your 3-year-old is in there trying to turn the stove on because he want to fry him some chicken. So he got the pan on the stove, he got the grease, and he done got the stove on. Why are you going to tear his little behind up? Because the laws of your house. But even though that law is there, why? Why do you have that law there for him? Let me ask you that. And you don't want him to kill himself, why? You love him. That's the bottom line right there. That's right on target. That's the bottom line right there. So in the same sense that an honorable father, a loving father loves his son, the same sense a mother loves her son, the Most High loves Israel in the exact same sense. So when we break his laws, his statutes, and commandments, we can expect that he's going to do what? Beat our little behinds. He's going to beat our ass. He did it to our fathers before us. Remember, they were complaining against Moses and murmuring and all of this. And what did he do? Sent fiery serpents to him, right? Why? Because he knew all that murmuring was not in their best interest. And the Most High loves Israel. He loves Israel. Before I go on with this scripture, I'm going to jump real quick and go over to Deuteronomy 7, and I want to say 1. Or is it 6? 6. 6. Deuteronomy 7 and 6, because we need to understand how the Most High feels about us and why he's given us his laws, his statutes, and commandments. Deuteronomy 7, verse 6 reads as follows: For thou art an holy people. He's talking to Israel. For thou art a holy people. What he's saying? What he's saying? What does holy mean? Holy means to be severed away from the whole, from the rest. It means to be set apart, to made separate. For we are a separate people, a holy people, unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people above all the people that are on the face of the earth. This is how much the Most High loves Israel. I know, living in the ghettos of Detroit, down in Harlem, over there on whatever side of Chicago, over there in Indianapolis, whatever ward down in Houston, I know when you look around your neighborhood, the reservations up in North Dakota, I know when you look around your neighborhood, the barrios down in New Mexico and Arizona, I know when you look around in your neighborhoods, it does not seem like the Most High love you. Oh, but he does love you, and you're in the conditions. When you see those conditions, you can bet your bottom dollar that you're in those conditions because of what? Not keeping the laws, the statutes, and the commandments of the Most High. And you know what? We come up with every excuse not to do that. Let's get back to that other scripture, Psalm, because we want to go back over there and get a good understanding of Psalms 147. You see, because we look around us and in our neighborhood, man, I've not seen anything like this since I was in the military. Tell you the truth, the squalor conditions that we live in, I've not seen anything like this since the last time I was in the third world country. You see, to come home from overseas to something like the east side of Detroit or the west, well, any place in Detroit that black folks congregate, is tore up from the floor. City services are not there. Well, except for the police that shoot us down in the street. And the firemen seem to show up just enough time so that the fire don't catch to the next house that somebody's living in, if somebody's living there. But if nobody's living there, hell, they might not show up to every vacant house on the block is ablaze. You see. But that's what it's like living in the ghetto. And the question is, why are we here? And the answer is, we're living in hell because we decided to disobey the Most High. To disobey the Most High. This is our consequence. Going back to Psalms 147, 19 and 20. He sendeth out Salakia. He showeth his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. His judgments is the consequences for breaking the law. He tells you that over in Exodus 20, around the 4th verse, talking about the 2nd commandment, where it says, visiting the iniquities of the fathers upon the children until the 3rd and 4th generation of them that hate me. When the Most High gave us his law, he said, if you love me, you'll keep my commandments. So it's logical to think that if I don't keep his commandment, then I must hate him. The scripture says this, visiting the iniquities of the fathers upon the children until the 3rd and 4th generation of them that hate me. The Most High said, if you don't keep his laws, his statutes, and his commandments, then you hate him. Forget about me. Forget about Captain LeBron. Forget about the generals. But when you disobey the laws of the Most High, you tell the Most High directly that you hate him. That you hate him. And let me ask you, how do you deal with those who hate you? You don't have to answer it, and it's rhetorical, but how do you deal with those who have proven by their actions that they hate you? My question from that would be, are you any more righteous than the Most High? You see what I'm saying? How should the Most High deal with me if my actions say I hate him? Visiting the iniquities of that's sin. Sin, iniquities is sin. Visiting the iniquities of the father upon the children. You know what that means? That means the same sin you commit. Guess what? Your children gonna commit it in the same sin in such a way that it's gonna get passed down generation after generation after generation. Now walk with me for a second. With me just for a second. Before I came in the truth, let me tell you what I was not perfect. And I think back to some of the sin that I engaged in before I came into the ISUPK, before I came into the truth. And it's a scary thing to me to think that my son or my daughter will have that sin passed down to them, so much so that they can't even figure out it's sin, and they therefore what? Pass it on down to their son or daughter, who passes it on down to their son or daughter. Think about, take in your mind, walk with me now. Think about one thing you know was a sin that you did, that if you could go back and really, really fix that thing, you would. The sin that when you think about it, damn near makes you tear up. You got it in your mind? That's the very sin that your 2-year-old, 3-year-old, 4-year-old may get involved with down the line, particularly if you're not in this truth. Particularly if you're not in this truth, because if you're not in this truth, you have nothing to work with but lies. And you are in one continuous and perpetual state of disobedience. And I'm talking to the Christians and the Muslims. As pious as you may seem, as holier than thou, you may think yourself, you are living in sin. because you are not practicing the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. He showeth his word unto Jacob, Psalm 147, starting in verse 19, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. Now, is it fair? Here's the question. And I like taking it back to us. Because most of us are married, got kids and all that, right? You leave your house because you can hear this big commotion down the street at the playground. And down the street at the playground is a melee going on. About 15 kids off into all types of nonsense, including your two. When you get to the playground, who's behind is in trouble from you, your child, not the other children. The sister say her children would be in trouble from her, but not the other children. Why the other children would not be in trouble? From you. They're not yours. Listen to this. We're going to go ahead to verse 20, Psalms 147, verse 20. He hath not dealt so with any nation, meaning the Most High has not given his word, his statutes, and his judgment to anybody except Israel, except Yasharallah. What do that mean? If they don't have his judgment, that means they don't have the consequences of breaking the law. Seems kind of unfair, doesn't it? But it's true. We grew up eating what? Chitlins and pig feet and pig ears. And today, all of us got to stay at the doctor. Why? Because we want to make sure our blood pressure ain't too high. We want to make sure what? We at 15, we was diagnosed as being pre-diabetic. We want to make sure we don't become all the way diabetic. We want to have our heart checked because we know we might suffer from heart disease. We might suffer from arterial sclerosis or the hardening of the arteries. And do you know where that comes from? All of that I just spoke of come from our diet, come from what we eat. When we eat shrimp, crabs, pork, and lobster, our cholesterol shoot off the scale. But when the Chinaman eat it, he go to the doctor, he's just fine. When the white man eat it, he goes to the doctor, they say his blood pressure is normal. Why is that? Because the Bible say he hath not dealt so with any nation. As for his judgments, they have not known them. The Most High punishes Israel because Israel belongs to the Most High. The other nations, the Most High, he don't even consider them. He don't even consider them. There's a scripture that talks about the other nations that say when he considers them, they are as a drop that falleth from a vessel. Can you imagine you carrying a 5-gallon drum, 5-gallon bucket of lemonade, trying to get it out here to the brothers, right? The brothers out there on hot, they out there raising up their voice, prophesying to the wind. And here comes this sister carrying this 5 gallons of lemonade because she knows she wants them brothers to get something to drink. And one drop falls from this 5-gallon bucket or container of lemonade. Do you think that sister is finna stop and go back and try to gather that one drop up? No, because it don't mean nothing. It does not mean anything to her because she got 5 gallons minus 1 drop still in the damn bucket. It means nothing to her. And the Most High said that is how the other people on the face of the earth is to him. They mean nothing to him. So what? If they eat shrimp, crab, pork, and lobster, they're not going to get high blood pressure like we do. Why? Because we were given the laws. We was given his word. We was given his statutes. We were given his commandments. And we was given the obligation to obey his law, statutes, commandments. When we disobey, I guarantee you every time, when we disobey, there's consequences. They come fast or they come slow, but there are consequences. There's consequences. The Most High looked down and saw how many so-called African American men were becoming gay. Y'all know what that is, right? Homosexual, becoming gay. And what did he allow? What did he allow in the last 20 years, 30 years? What did he allow? Something. Now, gay been around forever. Am I right? Now, I'm 60, and I grew up with a great uncle. That means he was my grandparents' brother, a gay great uncle that was a flaming homosexual. A flaming homosexual. So homosexuality has been around for a long time. For a long time. But in our lifetime, we've heard of something called what? HIV and AIDS. HIV and AIDS. Why? Because we are the chosen of the Most High, and his judgments fall on us. His judgments fall on us. We all know it's against the law to be a homosexual. In America, white homosexual men are infected with the HIV virus, the HIV or the AIDS virus, at a rate of 10%. If you see 10 white homosexuals, you know I'm trying not to use the F word. I want to say it so bad. I don't want to call, I want to say it. I do. Khan, you're not on the microphone, so they can't hear you out there. Exactly. You find 10 white, what the young student just said, together, hanging out there, one of them is going to be positive for HIV. They got a 10% infection rate, or you see, that's among the blonde-haired, blue-eyed, pale-skinned devil that the Bible speaks of, male, homosexual. Now, let's go to Atlanta. Homosexual heaven, right? Let's go to Atlanta. The HIV rate in Atlanta is so bad that it's worse than most third world countries. Look it up. It's on the internet. Now, this is how bad it is in America. Now, Atlanta is worse than America. But in America, if you see 10 flaming homosexual jakes out there, that's black men, right? Or Hispanic men, or Native American men, and they homosexuals, instead of one being positive for HIV, 5 will be positive for HIV. So what? You get on the bus, you see 2 homosexuals on the bus, you can bet one of them got HIV positive. Why? He showeth his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. HIV is necessarily the judgment for homosexuality, for being gay. You know, I'm so old, I remember when gay mean being happy. You know what I'm saying? That's what gay meant. You was happy. How happy are you now? How happy are you now? That's why black men are dying off at such a rate. Why? Because we refuse to keep the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. We just simply refuse to keep it. And so he pays us back for our disobedience. Oh, but we We don't want to get caught up in there. We've been going about an hour already, and we don't want to get caught just right here. Now watch this. He hath not dealt so with any nation. That's why the HIV infection rate among white men, Oriental men, and anybody other than Israelite men is down to about 10%, 5%. And the sisters don't get away either. They got something out there. I don't get it. Among homosexual sisters, I'm not a sister and I'm not a homosexual, so maybe that's why I don't get it. But their infection rate for genital herpes is off the damn chain. Now, I don't know if everybody know what herpes is. Herpes simplex comes from nothing. It begins, the only thing, we never knew herpes growing up. Never heard of it. What they said you had was you had a what? A cold sore. They said you had a cold sore. Ah, look at her lip. That's ugly. Yeah, she just got a cold sore. It'll be gone in a couple of days. That's herpes. And all this mouth to vajayjay contact is spreading herpes like wildfire among sisters. You said when you go to the playground and catch your children or your child in the melee with a bunch of other children, the head you going upside, you on. That's your child, his ass is tore up. Or her ass is tore up. That's your child, he down here acting the fool. Well, I'm going to act the fool with him and tear his ass up. Everybody else children, what? They escape your what? Your wrath. They escape your what? Your judgment. They escape your judgment. They escape the punishment. Why? Because they don't belong to you. Caucasians don't belong to the Most High. Orientals, I don't care what sect you come from, don't belong to the Most High. Africans don't belong to the Most High. They heathens. All these folks are heathens. The Ethiopian, the Libyan, heathens. The Egyptian, heathen. The Caucasian, French, German, heathen. Austrian, heathen. English, heathen. American, heathen. They heathens. They don't belong to the Most High. So let's get out of that childish thing, because we did it when we was children. Y'all remember that. Y'all know y'all did it, and mama went upside, daddy went upside your head anyway. Well, Reggie can go jump off the bridge, and the Most High is saying the same thing to us mama said to us. Oh, so if your friend climb up on the Empire State Building and jump off and kill himself, you gonna do that. You gonna do that, right? And the Most High is letting us know with high blood pressure, with heart disease, with arterial sclerosis or hardening of the arteries, with all kind of ailments, with HIV and AIDS. He's letting us know that we cannot go jump off the Empire State Building just because some heathen want to go jump off the Empire State Building. And this is not the first time he warned us. Let's look at another scripture. I hope I got it right. Y'all forgive me, brother. Salakia, but we're going to go over here to Deuteronomy. That's not it. Is that it? Here we go. Deuteronomy 6. Oh, no. Salakia. Deuteronomy 7. I'm going to read this scripture, and then we're going to take a quick break. Deuteronomy 7. The Most High is amazing. He knew he was going to have a problem with this. Hear what he knew. So in Deuteronomy 7, before we ever made it to the what? Promised land, he had Moses sit down and say this to him. Deuteronomy 7, verse 1. When the Lord thy God shall bring thee into the land whither thou goest to possess it, and had cast out many nations before thee, the Hittites and the Girgashites, and the Amorites and the Canaanites and the Perizzites and the Hivites and the Jebusites, 7 nations greater and mightier than thou. And when the Lord thy God shall deliver them before thee, thou shalt smite them and utterly destroy them. Thou shalt make no covenant with them, nor show mercy to them, neither shalt thou make marriages with them. Thy daughter shalt not give unto his son, nor his daughter shalt thou take unto thy son, for they will turn away thy son from following after me, that they may serve other gods. So will the anger of the Lord be kindled against you and destroy you suddenly. We're going to take a break, and I'm going to come back and break that down.
Definition of a soldier. Definition of a soldier.
Hey man.
What's happening, man?
Y'all know what time it is, man.
Captain Capaz,
Spirit of Phineas on this
motherfucker. What's happening, man? Definition of a soldier, militant minded, violent, silent, sleeping giant, iron, titan, soaring, flying.
Yeah, Israel. We back in the building. It's another Midwest Fire Weekend. ISUPK presents the 3rd annual Midwest Barbecue, man. And guess what? It's all gonna be hosted by Big Priest, Captain Mawakara.
Israel. All blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians, ISUPK, keeping the movement going. We got a banging weekend coming. Fire weekend coming, July 25th to the 28th.
Street niggas to reach niggas from street corners. We see niggas.
To kick off that fire weekend, we got the official 12 Tribe breakdown lecture hosted, you understand, and ran by my man himself, Captain Katazai of New York, world famous, cross the line. Everybody knows.
Let me tell you something. The only real Jews on the planet are the black, Hispanic, and Native Indians.
Shit, you ain't nowhere, man. Y'all know what time it is. 125th Ward West, Harlem, since 1969.
Chicago's Fire Weekend, man. July 25th through 28th. They're gonna have a hell of a weekend. Jam-packed. Amazing events. First, you got Captain Katazai's lecture. You're gonna have camp. You got the barbecue, the Bantu Festival. Man, it's gonna be a hell of a time, man. The General's gonna be in town, Captain's gonna be in town, and it's in Chicago, man. Listen, come out, have a good time with us. We're gonna do it big, man. Shalom.
It's gonna be camp. We're gonna have a fire camp. Manny, General Yohana, all the Midwest heavy hitters.
On July the 25th, Captain Katazai gonna be performing the 12 Tribes lecture on 938 East 79th Street. Then, camp is gonna be held at downtown Chicago on July the 26th on 108 North State Street. Then also, we got the Bantu Festival on July 27th, 1501 West Rudolph Street. Last but not least, we got the cookout on July the 28th. The Midwest Cookout, man. We're going to be in Rainbow Beach Park, 3111 East 77th Street, Chicago, Illinois.
Hey, man.
What's happening, man?
Y'all know what time it is, man.
Captain Capaz,
Spirit of Phineas on this
motherfucker. What's happening, man? Definition of a soldier. Fuck 'em, focus, choke 'em, smoke.
Come out July 25th through the 28th to the Midwest Fire Weekend, man. We're gonna have brotherhood, sisterhood, barbecue, everything you can think of. It's gonna be a family event.
Angel of war coming, the archangel, the Lord coming for shortcomings. Street bitch.
SWAT 5000. You already know what time it is. Fire Weekend, Chicago, July 25th through the 28th, man. Get down there. The manager and Hunter gonna be in the building. We We got the barbecue, the Band 2 Festival.
Chicago, Chi-Town gonna be there. New York gonna be in the building. You know what I mean? Indianapolis gonna be in the building. You know what I mean? All the Midwest gonna be in the building. Okay, we gonna take this joint up, man. Band 2 Festival, we gonna mob in that joint. Alright? Most thank Christ, y'all. Shalom.
Gotta be here. If you ain't here, shit. You
Man, Chief Sock, Jenny, Angry Black Man, we here in New York right now. I want to tell y'all about the event we got coming up this summer. July 25th to the 29th, we're going to be in the city of Chicago for the Band 2 Festival. Y'all know don't nobody represent like the Israelite School, the UPK.
Lord Angel of War coming, the Archangel the Lord coming for shortcomings. Street niggas to reach niggas from street corners. We seek niggas and teach niggas.
Shalom, come to the Midwest Barbecue, July 25th to July 28th. Number 2 champions gonna be in the building. Understand what I'm letting you know. Band 2 Festival, Fire Weekend is another one that's going down. The Warlords will be in the building. Shalom.
Street niggas to reach niggas from street corners. We seek niggas and teach.
The white man ain't nothing but the devil, the Bible speaks of.
Guess what? We also got the grill coming live from Chicago by Commanding General Yohana on 938 East 79th Street, Chicago, Illinois. For more contact information, dial 312-547-1991. Again, for more contact information, dial 312-547-1991. Don't miss out on it. ISUPK, no cowards, no excuses.
Shit is going down.
All right, we back from that quick break. And like we did on that commercial break, look at here, you gotta get to the Midwest Barbecue. You gotta get there. All the heavy hitters gonna be there. We coming down from Detroit. They coming in from Baltimore. They coming up from Texas. They coming from the West, from California and St. Louis. Gotta get to Chicago. You gotta get to the Midwest Barbecue. I believe that started July 25th down there with Captain Marquardt, Captain 13,000 Marquardt, and that whole Chicago crew. Let's get back to where we were. We were just reading the scripture, Deuteronomy 7, verse 1, and we went all the way through verse 4. Verse 4. And it sounds pretty harsh. The Most High was telling Israel when they go into that land, kill everybody. Run them completely out. Told them don't make any compacts with them, don't make any deals with them, break their altars down, don't become their friends, don't send your sons to marry their daughters or accept their daughters to marry your sons. None of that. None of that. And guess what? We did it anyway. And here is the beginning of trouble. This is the beginning of our trouble. We get in trouble because we don't do one simple thing, and that's obey the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. And I want to take this last hour to deal with modern day Israelites not keeping the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. And let's see if we can gain an understanding as to why, according to the scripture, we just, as a people, won't keep the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. We're going to go to Matthew chapter 15. Matthew chapter 15. Starting at verse 1. It reads as follows. Then came Yahushua, Salakia. Then came to Yahushua, that's Jesus for you Christians and Muslims, scribes and Pharisees, which were of Jerusalem. Now, right here at the beginning of the scripture, we already know why. He's already given us everything we need to know about the problem of disobedience among the Israelites of Yahweh's day. I'm going to read that again, see if you can catch it. Then came to Yahweh scribes and Pharisees, which were of Jerusalem. The only other somebody in the scripture is scribes and Pharisees. We know Yahweh is righteous. So, if the problem is here, then it's got to be with the scribes and the Pharisees. Then it got to be, it's not Yahweh. Surely he not the problem. Verse 2, saying, why do thy disciples transgress the traditions of the elders? For they wash not their hands when they eat bread. One of my favorite sayings is hold up, swole up. He didn't say, why do your disciples transgress the traditions of the Most High? It didn't say that. It didn't say that. It said, why do your disciples transgress the traditions of the elders? Who's saying this? The Pharisees and the scribes. As we came into the 21st century, in 2019, who would be or walk in the same footsteps as the Pharisees and the scribes? Go ahead, sister. Fake Israelites group, that's one. Anybody else? I'm looking for something more poignant, right on the point. Read this again. Then came to Jesus scribes and Pharisees, which were of Jerusalem, saying, why do thy disciples transgress, meaning to break, the traditions of the elders, for they wash not their hands when they eat bread. In today's time, who would be these scribes and Pharisees? Who do you think, student? You closer. You closer. There you go. Booyah. Give that sister a hand. Give that sister a hand. The scribes and the Pharisees would be your what? Pastors and deacons today. Why? Because the scribes and the Pharisees were those who did what? As the sister pointed out, they studied the law. They knew the law. They studied the Bible. They studied the scriptures, but they did not keep the scriptures. They did not obey the scriptures. In today's time, all of Christianity are led by scribes and Pharisees. Pastors who don't, and preachers, and deacons, and evangelists, and all kind of folks with titles who do not keep the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. Even worse, they teach our mothers, our grandmothers, our aunties, our fathers, our sisters, our children to also disobey the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. In fact, if you have not been in this school for some years, there's still some pharisaical teachings that you need to get up off you, even though you're in the school. And what am I talking about? What am I talking about? We all have those things that we used to do because the Christian church told us to do that. Told us that was all right. The Christian church teaches women right now today that if your husband don't have the right job, making the right money, and doing all those things, Miss Wife, that you think he should be doing, then it's 100% okay for you to divorce that zero, I'm quoting, and get a hero. Is that right? But is that what the scriptures say? The scriptures say if a man findeth a maid and he talked to her, and I'm paraphrasing, he spit game to the point that he ended up lying with her or having sex with her, what? He shall surely endow her to be his wife. But the Christian church tell you it's all right to go, look at here, don't buy no cow without seeing what type of milk it gives first. Don't buy no car unless you test drive. That's what the Christian church teach you. And if guess what, it don't drive right, it's all right for you to sit down. But the Bible say sex is marriage, and marriage is for life. Sex is marriage, and marriage is for life. But according to the Christian church, you can get divorced, marry again, get divorced, marry again, get divorced, marry again. Well, if you're a man doing that, then you're a whoremonger, and if you're a woman doing that, then you're a whore. That's all it is to it. And both of those are unlawful according to the Most High. Women ain't got no business being whores, and brothers ain't got no business being whoremongers. Period. Period, period, period. This is how important the word, the statutes, and the judgments of the Most High are. Without them, we become bumbling idiots. We out-white the white man. We want to out-Chinese the Chinese man, out-Korean the Korean man. And all the while, guess what? Things the Most High blessed us with so that we can take care of ourselves, we give those away. What am I talking about? At 60, I grew up in the age and the time where when I wanted my hair braided, one of my sisters, I had four, one of my sisters decided she gonna braid it. Or my mama braided it. I didn't have to run around with some goddamn African smelling like a whole bunch of damn pepper talking about when you braid my hair. Nobody in the world, I could be wrong, and I'm telling y'all this is my opinion, but the way I grew up, it seemed to me nobody in the world knew anything about French braid hair outside of us until that movie Blue Lagoon was made, and that they braided that child's hair with French braid. After that, all of a sudden, white folk everywhere will get their hair French braid. They call it French braid, not cornrow, it's French braid. Now, all of a sudden, all of Africa want to do the braiding in America. And you know they don't run out to the Chinese community. They don't run out to little Japan or little Korea or little Italy to try to get jobs to work on folks here. They come right to the hood, right to the ghetto, right to the barrios, and set up in our shop. You know why? Because we disobeyed the law, statutes, commandments of the Most High, and our consequences is to suffer until we come back, until Yahushua comes back. Our consequence is to suffer. It's one of the sufferings over in Deuteronomy 28 says, "And the stranger among you, he shall rise up higher and higher, and you shall go down lower and lower, and he shall lend to you, and you shall not lend to him." That's why Abib sell you your alcohol. That's why Kunta Kinte braids your hair. That's why Miss Kim sells you your weed. What the hell do black folk own in America anymore but trouble? Hell, they took away your goddamn weed business. Now, we were the weed sellingest people in the world. They took that away by making it legal and allowing the pharmaceutical companies to open up clinics in places where you can buy weed. Why are we in such straits? Well, selling weed, smoking weed, buying weed is all against the law, statute, commandments of the Most High. Anyway. But that's another way of going out at them one way, and now you got to run 7 different ways. You know, you're going to be the stupidest criminal in the Michigan Department of Correction if you go to jail anymore for some goddamn weed. You know, they're going to look at you like, this dude's super stupid. This shit legal in Slovakia. And he managed to get arrested for some weed. It's legal in Michigan, and folks still getting locked up. Not following, we ain't got no business messing with it anyway. If we follow the law, statute, commandments of the Most High, we just won't mess with the weed. Is that right? And guess what? If I'm not messing with weed, guess what they can't lock me up for? They can't lock me up for weed. In other words, if you want to stay out of a barroom brawl, the best way to ever stay out of a barroom brawl is don't go to the bar. Now, you may go down to Save-A-Lot, to the supermarket, and get into a meat aisle brawl or a dairy section brawl, but it won't be a barroom brawl because you ain't at the bar. In the same sense, you don't want to get locked up for weed. Leave it alone. Just don't smoke it. Just don't grow it. No matter what they say the laws are, it's unlawful to you. Quit digging up trouble. That's what the scriptures say, is that you're digging up trouble. Back to Matthew 15. Then came to Yahushua scribes and Pharisees, which were of Jerusalem, saying, why do thy disciples transgress the traditions of the elders? I gotta stop digging. We're gonna get past some of these, but it's hard once you learn to study the Bible in the ISUPK. It's hard to get past. Almost, I can't watch a movie, right? Because all I'm doing is breaking the movie down the whole time, and we got to put it on pause. I got to spend an hour. The movie ain't but an hour and a half long, but I got to spend an hour on this first 3-minute segment because of some mess they said in there that just ain't ISUPK. Then I have to break it down to my rib and all of that. In the same way, we can't read 4 or 5 words in the scripture before we have to stop and break it down. Then came to Jesus scribes and Pharisees, which were of Jerusalem, saying, why do thy disciples transgress the traditions of the elders? I mean, we got a problem already. Who the hell is the elders? These are scribes and Pharisees. They're talking about their fathers, their bosses, the men who came before them, who set their school up. They got these traditions. So in today's, how would that equate to today? We're talking about the fellas that come out of the seminaries and the fellas that founded churches back in the 1950s here in Detroit, who set up traditions, Christian traditions in these churches. One of them being Easter morning service, complete with bacon, ham, and egg breakfast. And children after breakfast, as they eat all the pork and everything, they're going to run outside and they're going to run around looking for colored eggs that a bunny laid down and hid from them. It's called Easter. It is the most, or one of the most paganistic holidays you can ever come across. And yet the tradition of the elders say you're going to have Easter sunrise service. They also have a Christmas sunrise service too, and a New Year's sunrise, which are all abominations to the Most High. What did it say? Oh, that's who did Jesus die for. But we got a flyer that says the Most High hate your holidays. He hate your holidays. Why? Because they are all about false gods and pulling his people away from him. Do you know in and this is conjecture right here. I'm guessing, and I'm sure I'm gonna get checked if I'm wrong. The Most High don't give a damn about them other nations. He don't. It's a drop of a bucket. Think of the other nations as spittle. That's what it's apocryphal. And spittle. That's what he think about the other nations. But you he loved. You are the apple of his eye. That's what he said in the scriptures. You are the apple of his eye. And so if you that precious to him, when you disobey, it hurts him tremendously. And to draw you back, he's going to punish you. He's going to punish you. You're not going to get away. It may not be swift, but when it comes, you're going to know, this is the Most High. This is the Most High. Some of the hardest fellas I ever met in my life, throw their hands up as high. It's the will of the Most High. They transgress the tradition of the elders. If it's the tradition of the elders, we know then it's not the tradition of the Most High. It's not the word of the Most High. And Yahushua in verse 3 asked them this question as a cut. But he, that's Yahushua, answered and said, and this is still Matthew 15, verse 3. But he answered and said unto them, why do ye? Watch this, I like that. They came at Yahushua and asked about his disciples, right? Why do thy disciples trans? He picking on the disciples. But he turned around and picked his own fight when he said, why do you also trans the commandments of God by your traditions? He didn't say your disciples. He didn't say I'm going to pick on your students. No, you bastards. You the one. You the very one. Mother, the right reverend, head, deacon, head, steward, you see, senior pastor, whatever other titles y'all give yourself. You are the one who transgress the commandments of the Most High. You are the ones who transgress the commandments of the Most High. So, why do you do that? And then he gave them an example. And you know that still goes on today. You can go to any Sunday going to meeting church. Sabbath going to meeting church. Friday going to meeting mosque. Sunday going to meeting mosque. And find the leaders teaching blacks, Hispanics, and natives to disobey the Most High. This is going to be a terrible thing when Yahushua comes back and pays them back. But if you necessarily lean unto your own understanding, you leaning against the Most High. If you're trying to figure out on his own, all you figuring is a way to piss the Most High off. That's all you figuring, is a way to piss him off. Because he's going to repay. I will repay. That's what he said. You're going to repay. Everybody that sins is going to get paid for their sin. And unless they repent and get the forgiveness of the Most High. Unless they come into the truth. Unless they come into the truth. Now, he used the example here of honoring your father and your mother. Let me show you how apropos this is for the black community. How many people was raised in their home that's 35 and under, that was raised with their father in their home? 100%. I got 2 out of 2. That is so rare. That is so rare. Right now, what's the percentage of single mother households? What do you think it is? All right, what do you think? %85 of all so-called African American babies are born to a single mother. 85% of so-called African American families are headed by single mothers. So, if it's not a father there, that does mean there's no husband there, right? But if she has a baby, that means she's been doing some extracurricular activity, right? You see. So that means that's either adultery or fornication, because it was unlawful sexual activity. The marriage bed is undefiled. That means as long as I'm married to her, we can do what we want to do. We can do what we can swing from the chandeliers if we want to. You see. But if I'm not married to her, and I have no intentions of marrying her, I have no business, according to our laws, our statutes, and our commandments, even consider having sex with her. Period. That's just the bottom line. The second I have sex with her, she becomes my wife. If I walk away, I sin, and I force her to sin when she has sex with another man. But we can't seem to get that. Why? Because we're caught up in the tradition of the elders. Just let's look at the tradition of elders as far as marriage is concerned. Okay? Two people sleeping together. The tradition of elders say what? They just screwing, or that's, I'm gonna be nice. They just dating, but they're not married. That's the tradition of the elders, because the tradition of the elders say they become married when? Student, when do they become married? Salaki? No, the tradition of the elders, not the Bible. Another form of sex. That's not the tradition of the elders. The tradition of the elders, they become married when, sister. That's it right there. When they get that marriage license, when they pay that $25 for that marriage license, and they have somebody, either a magistrate or a preacher, who got his license from the same devil, right, sign the marriage license. That's when they are considered to be married. And believe it or not, all the sex they had before they signed the marriage license don't count. For indeed, with all the sex they had, if they mess around and don't have sex after the license is issued and been registered, they can actually go to court and not request a divorce, but an annulment. And when is the annulment granted? When sex wasn't part of the relationship after the marriage. If there was no sex to consummate the marriage, then an annulment can be had. Meaning you both go your separate ways, it's nobody's fault. Kind of like in the ISUPK when you court. If you courting and one of y'all decide to call off the courtship, no big deal. Why? Because y'all not married. Why are y'all not married? Because you didn't have sex. That's the most highest rule. But in America, they say you got married by law on a piece of paper, and if you didn't have sex, then we can dissolve the marriage. Only if you didn't have sex. But you can tell by that law alone that they read and understand our scriptures. They read and understand our records. I don't know if I like all the scriptures because that brings about this religious connotation. And the Bible, as far as I've been studying, is not and has never been about religion. Is not and never been about religion. It does not teach religion. None of that stuff that they're doing and claiming it comes from the Bible. It does not teach any of that nonsense. You know. And the stuff that it does teach, when you bring it up, and I just want to let the brothers and sisters know, when you do this and it happens to you, it's of the Most High's doing. When you go and study that Bible, you read something and it just stands out to you and it just invades your whole mind, and you run back to that Christian church and you can't wait the Bible study to get here on Thursday, and you get there and you give your question to that deacon, and he kind of politely asks you after Bible study, you don't need to come back no more asking questions like that. And then he's going to ridicule you in front of everybody right there. Why? Because he can't answer the question. So he's going to use another tactic to make you look bad. All that is of the Most High. Because your eyes couldn't be open to what the scriptures are saying if the Most High didn't open them. You see, if the Most High didn't open them, then you wouldn't be that. But here, the Most High is pulling us, using his law, to pull us out of these Christian churches. I knew a sister that said that she had started going to church and couldn't figure out what was going on. She said she would get in there, and from the beginning to her, in her ears, this is what she heard. Wah, 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 wah. She couldn't understand a single word the preacher was saying, a single song that was being sung. It was all wah, wah, and she finally got out of the Christian church. She ain't made it to the ISUPK yet, but she's headed this way, I do believe. But she got out of there. That's the Most High. That's the Most High. We don't choose to come into this because all of a sudden I feel so righteous and because the things I was doing didn't feel good to me anymore. So lucky. No, I came here because the Most High put me in the trick bag. I ask questions, he give me an answer. Next thing I know, I'm cornered. I ain't got no choice but to come here. I don't come into the ISUPK, I die. That's why I look at it. I don't come into the truth, I die. Now, when you look through the ISUPK, understand these brothers necessarily, these not your average Sunday go to meeting, Sunday school teaching brothers. I'm telling you now. These niggas. Commander General Yohana said, these niggas here ain't to be played with. None of them. They not to be played with. You see. And the Most High don't want no lily, soft Christian who submits himself to anybody that puts on a robe and calls himself a preacher. He can't use him. Because women walk all over him then. And our sisters don't need us walking over them. They need us standing up in the law, statutes, commandments of the Most High. And they need us to do it in front of them so they too can stand up in the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. Y'all know Israelite women. You can't come to them with no hypocritical shit. You can't do it. Because if you being a hypocrite, if you out here, I'm letting you know now, if you out here doing all kind of abominations, eating all the pork and all of that and everything, and you in your girl's ear about this is right, and she gonna see that. And she, look at here, she's going to spend her whole grocery budget. You're going to go in your freezer, it's going to be a pork shoulder, a pork butt, it's going to be pig feet, it's going to be hog maws, it's going to be chitlin, it's going to be pig ears, that might going to have a snout in there, they even going to have a damn tongue. And then guess what? She done messed around and got somebody to help to give her the skin, and she got that cooking in the broiler right now. Our sisters, and I'm not trying to let them off the hook, but our sisters follow what we do and they exacerbate. They make it even worse. Kind of like our children. That's why he said visiting the iniquities of the fathers upon the children to the third and fourth generation. You know how bad my shit has to be? And how convincing I have to be to get my great-great-great-grandson to do the same horrible shit I did. But it's not me. I just simply live that life in front of my son. He thinks it's okay. And so he lived the same unlawful life. But, you know, us We got to add our own flair to it so it gets even worse. Then his son makes it even worse. By the time it gets to my great-great-great-grandson, that boy don't have a chance. Don't have a chance. And then the Most High said we hate him. Of all the things you don't want the Most High to think about you, is that you hate him. Am I right? Because you know what happened to those who hate the Most High? Brimstone and fire come out of heaven and destroy whole cities like Sodom and Gomorrah. Something occurs in the atmosphere and a woman is turned into a pillar of salt because she longed for the ways of Sodom and Gomorrah. Instead of looking towards the pleasantness there is in serving the Most High, the goodness in keeping the law, statutes, commandments of the Most High. You see. We are in the condition we are simply because we don't abide by the law, statute, commandment. That's what this law class is about today. No matter what you see going on in your life, it's bad, there's a law you ain't keeping up. There's a law you violate. And here's the deal. It's so easy to please the Most High. David showed us in Psalm 51. I'm going to pull that. This may be close to my last scripture. I don't know yet, but we're going to pull that Psalms 51. And a lot of people under the Christian church teach this as the way to pray. But take a listen to this. Verse 1, Psalm 51. To the chief musician, the Psalm of David, when Nathan the prophet came unto him after he had gone into Bathsheba. Anybody not familiar with that story? Who know about David and Bathsheba? We know Bathsheba was another man's wife, right? You don't remember that? Okay, let me break it down. There was a Hittite. There was a Hittite who had a wife. And he was a general in David's army. But his wife was fine. And David was up in the castle on his porch, walking around. And I don't know why he could look down at this woman's bathroom. But he looked down and saw her taking a shower, bath, whatever she was doing. And he said, she fine. And he sent for her. And he had sex with her. Another man's wife. He committed adultery with her. And the Most High punished him for that. One of the first punishments was what? The baby was born sickly and would not live. The baby was born sickly and would not live. Not only did he sleep with another man's wife, what did he do once he found out she was pregnant? He called Uriah the Hittite in and wrote orders because he was in the army. He wrote him a set of orders. Gave him some orders, folded the orders up. Uriah didn't know what the orders said. Right? He gave it to the commanding general, and Uriah was a general. He gave it to the commanding general. What the orders told the commanding general was to put Uriah in the thickest part of the battle, where they're fighting the hardest. And then, when they get real furious, everybody withdraw from him. Everybody retreat, but don't tell him you retreat. And thus Uriah the Hittite died. Why did David do that? Because he got this woman pregnant. He tried to get Uriah to go sleep with his own wife so he can think that the baby his. Maury Povich ain't the first one to start talking about you are the dad or you are not the dad. David tried to pull one of those you are the daddy moves back in the day, and the Most High would not let it happen. And thus David had to have the man killed. Psalm 51 is what happened, is what David has to say. After Nathan the prophet came and told him a story, and told him he was the key man in that story. He was the one that was wrong in that story. Psalm 51, verse 1, to the chief musician, a psalm of David when Nathan the prophet came unto him after he had gone into Bathsheba. Have mercy upon me, O Yahweh, according to thy loving kindness, according unto thy multitude, to the multitude of thy tender mercies, blot out my transgression. What David is saying, he's saying, I have a transgression. So what do we know that David did? If he said, blot out my transgression, what we know that he did for sure? He broke the law. You're absolutely right, sis. He broke the law. But he got a little sense, David said. But he went through something before he got to this point. Understand, he didn't just, oops, I killed Uriah. Oops, I slept with Bathsheba. Let me write this psalm. It wasn't like that. He had to go through some hell first. Verse 2, wash me through, should be thoroughly, from mine iniquity. What is iniquity? Transgressions, or another three-letter word for transgression is, start with an S, sin. Wash me thoroughly from my iniquity and cleanse me from my sin. For I acknowledge my transgression. Here's what we fall short, Israel, Yasharala. You know what we don't like to admit? I'm wrong. I'm wrong. I'm wrong. You know, I'm too busy defending my position because my ego got stepped on, because you called me wrong. That's what happens. And don't let me be a sister. I ain't gonna get on y'all too bad, but your hand on your hip and your neck get real loose, and your voice come up an octave and a whole bunch of decibels. Why? Because you're defending wrong. You're defending sin. Why do we defend sin? Because the Christian church has taught us to defend sin. And so we never simply say the one thing we need to say, Father, forgive me, I was wrong. I love the ISUPK because after you get checked and you realize the checking, even when the checking don't seem, you should have got it. You still learn to say, I don't want to Salakia. Salakia, I don't want no excuses. You see. But in America, the Christian church said, well, in Acts, they did away with all the bad food. And when Jesus got up on the third day, that means you can worship on Sunday. And here's the problem. The Christian pastors know that's a lie. They teach it anyway when they watch this. And when their parishioners find out it's a lie and bring it back to the pastor, he downplays some kind of way. The reason we still in captivity is enough of us have not come back to the Most High. And too many of us who've come into the ISUPK is playing with the Most High. We all got demons to fight and everything, but I watch brothers leave. I watch brothers become part of fake Israelite groups. They playing with the Most High. What's that verse say? They have a semblance of but deny the power thereof. They have a semblance of religion, of righteousness, but they deny the power. How do they deny it? By not following the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. Instead of not mixing with the other nations, you got this group that says it's all right to have white people as Israelites. I acknowledge my transgressions and my sin is ever before me. Against thee only have I sinned and done this evil in thy sight. We have a tendency to say that our transgressions are a mistake. Oh, I made a mistake. Oops, it's a oops. It's goddamn evil. If homosexuality wasn't flat out evil, if it was just a oops, why would he give you AIDS? You know what I'm saying? Why would he give you AIDS? That's just a simple one. That's just a simple one. That thou mightest be justified when thou speakest. That's what David is saying. He said, have I sinned? He said, alone, against thee only have I sinned, and done this evil in thy sight, that thou mightest be justified when thou speakest, and be clear when thou judgest. You're going to get judged. There's going to be some judgment in this world or the next, this time or the next time. There's going to be some judgment. How do we know there's going to be judgment even in the next life? Because we find Jesus and the disciples going into the city, they ran across a man who was what? Blind from birth. And what did the disciples ask him? He said, Master, who sinned that this man was born blind? He or his parents? How can he have sinned to such a degree that it caused him to be born blind? Previous life. You don't get away, Israel. You don't get away. Stop sinning now. Confess. You know what? I look at the horrendous life I live, and many times I find myself in different situations, and I thank the Most High. Kind of like I paid for my sins in this life. Kind of like I paid for a whole bunch of them in this life. And I just try not to do no more. Break them. I'm not sleeping with nobody's wife. I don't care who it is. Don't do that no more. I'm not out here sleeping with single women. And I'm not bragging on me because this shit hard. Women still look good. And they still moving something and put on them, little black dresses. It's hard. But I love the Most High more. I love the Most High more. And so I don't do it. I go through proper courtships. And I stay with my wife as far as sex is concerned. I'm not trying to check your wife about nothing. I teach only when she comes to class. We're not going down that road. We have to keep the law, statute, commandments of the Most High. I'm going to go back to the scripture that we started off with, and that's Matthew 15. And we're going to start with the first verse again, I believe it is. Yeah, Matthew 15, verse 1. Then came to Jesus scribes and Pharisees which were of Jerusalem, saying, Why do thy disciples transgress traditions of the elders? For they wash not their hands when they eat bread. But he, being Yahweh, shall answer and said unto them, Why do ye also transgress the commandment of God by your traditions? And that's what we ask all the churches. That's what Commander General Yohana asked. That's what General Hyman asked. When the church got something, said, well, why do you transgress the commandments of God? You worried about us speaking rudely and loudly on the street corners. Why do you, Mr. Preacher, Miss Preacher, Evangelist, or whoever you're supposed to be, using this book called the Bible, why do you then turn around and do those very things it tells you not to do? The very thing. And it's not like no one-time thing and, oh, I'm sorry I did. No, you do this on a regular basis and teach people that you are right. The Most High law is what Moses went by. The tradition of the elders is what the Pharisees went by. In Jesus' day, in this what? These prosperity preachers or any Christian preacher go by today. Traditions of elders that go against the Bible. And with that, we're going to end the class. And I'm going to say Shalom Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shabbat. Thumb to all my brothers and Shalom Yahweh Shema Alatah. Barakatah Bahashem Yahweh Shah to all my Akwaf sisters. Shalom, Israel.
Something to follow, had loyalty, every man tried to borrow, felt pain and a lot of sorrow.